Our next speaker will be David Madland and then Michael Avakian. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
I'm David Madland. I'm the director of the American Worker Project at the Center for American Progress Action Fund. The American Worker Project conducts research to increase the wages, benefits, and security of American workers and promote their rights at work. Center for American Progress Action Fund strongly supports the NLRB's proposed rules to reform an election process that far too often resembles Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown just as he's about ready to kick it, where workers are left flat on their back with scheduled elections frequently delayed or canceled. This common sense proposal would reform an inconsistent election process into a small but important step towards giving workers a fairer way to choose whether or not to join a union. As you all know, the proposed rule doesn't specify a specific timeline, but rather recommends a number of changes that are geared towards ending delay tactics and to create a more level playing field. In short, the rule's aim, in which what we most strongly support, is that when workers petition for an election, they should get an election. As you all know, and there's been numbers sort of bandied about, many elections already occur relatively smoothly. Median election, half of all elections occurring within 38 days, according to your data in 2010. But, as we also all know, long delays can and do happen, in large part because the current process allows for manipulation of the timing of elections, and these delays, at their extreme, can cause elections to never happen. There's no limit on employers or unions' ability to demand a pre-election hearing on virtually most any issue, eligibility of employees to vote, scope of the bargaining unit, etc. All of these can be used to delay an election, as we've heard from many people here. We also heard evidence that they do delay. Nearly 1 in 7 elections occurred over 51 days after workers submitted a petition in 2009, 7% over 71 days, and 3% occurred after 151 days. This according to research presented by Dorian Warren and Kate Bronfenbrenner. Many elections don't have hearings, but when a pre-election hearing is demanded, elections are delayed by 124 days on average, according to research from UC Berkeley. Now, the previous speaker was just talking about elections and the process and fairness. Imagine if political parties could manipulate the timing of presidential elections the same way that the NLRB process can be manipulated. We would think it's crazy. Part of what makes the American democracy work is that we know we can count on, for example, voting for president on every 4 years, the first Tuesday in November. And perhaps even more damning of the current system is that, according to a study by John Paul Ferguson of Stanford Business School, elections frequently don't happen. 35% of the time that workers file a petition, the election does not happen with workers withdrawing their petition, sometimes after very, very long delays when they were trying to set up an election and just get frustrated and give up. Now, we've also heard that by some people claiming this standardized process will prevent employers from communicating with their workers. We've also heard, and we're going to hear more evidence, that the NLRB election process gives ample opportunity. It's got multiple steps and stages that give both employers and unions an opportunity to communicate. Research demonstrates conclusively that employers already communicate with their workers about unions well before elections happen. They're incorporated into new hire orientations, for example. And even when employers don't start their campaigns directly when they first hire someone, they often start well before filing of a petition. As Professors Bronfenbrenner and Warren found that much of this communication even crosses the line into illegal activity. Half of all serious violations, such as illegal harassment and coercion, occur before the petition is filed. That, I think, indicates just how modest this proposal really is. Doesn't address stiffening penalties or otherwise limit illegal action against workers, It just standardizes the election process and ensures that some of the obstacles that prevent workers from exercising their right to vote are removed. All workers deserve a fair and consistent process that enables them to make their own choice about whether to form a union. The NLRB's proposed rule is a modest but important step to make that election fairer. For that reason, we strongly support it. Thank you for your consideration. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming here and sharing your thoughts with us. Anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.